Yo! What is good, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Easter. Happy 420. This is your boy, Andrew Simon, back with another video. It's been a long time, folks. It has been a very long time. You know, let's just get this started. All right. Night one, Wrestlemania 41, jam-packed, Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium, 61,000 people jam-packed in that stadium, watching night one of a buy one, get two free tour. And you know what? It's just like, see, I watched WrestleMania 28. I watched WrestleMania 29. I was there, you know, in Miami. I was there in MetLife Stadium when those matches. So atmosphere-wise, I get it. The production is amazing. You know, you got the drones all over. The set was incredible. The pyro, you know, just being there is just an experience, right? You got celebrities all over the place, you know. It's one of those things that it should be on your bucket list. If you are like a fan of pro wrestling, it should be on your bucket list to go and travel to whatever is holding WrestleMania and just be part of that experience, you know, just to be surrounded in it. For all of those new people who have attended there for the first time, that is like, it's amazing to them. It's like going to Disney World, basically. You know, it is really the Super Bowl of pro wrestling for that. With that being said, it is an extravagant amount of smoke, mirrors, and brand advertising that basically overshadows the quality of the actual wrestling taking place in the ring. Because I'm a guy who is not into smoke, mirrors, brand, marketing. I don't care about any of that. I only care about the quality of the wrestling in the ring. I only care about how they tell a story within the ring. What moves do they do that captures my attention? What do they do that make me say, oh shit, that is amazing, I can't believe it? You know? The excitement of it all. Honestly, the first few matches in WrestleMania, they didn't capture that for me. They captured other things, but when it comes to the in-ring performance, it sucked. It completely sucked. I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's get to the first match. Jey Uso versus Gunther, all right? Shout out for making it the first match of the card. You want to do something that will get the crowd hyped, right? So Jey Uso coming out with his theme song. You got the Raider X, the cheerleaders out there. You got the flags waving for main event Jey Uso. You got the whole crowd chanting yeet, yeet, yeet. You know, you want to bring the energy up. You know, when you're starting up a show, the opening act is always the most important, right? It gets the energy flowing. It gets the people up and going. They're like, this is what I wanted to see. And for those first, 10 minutes, that's what they saw. They saw the atmosphere. The wrestling, I'm going to be very honest with you, all right? Jey Uso looked better in this match than he had in previous matches, but that is because Gunther had been told by Triple H, and you know what? I don't have a source, but I could just tell because I've watched Gunther when he started in the Indies. He fought against Will Ospreay. He hurt opponents left and right. He was definitely told by the bosses in the back to tone down your moveset because Jey Uso can't handle it. Tone it down and make it look like Jey is a badass. Richie did. As a professional, when someone tells you to dumb down your entire moveset, just so the other guy can look good in comparison, and you're making a lot of money, and you're on that contract, and you have to do right by the company, you do it. You become a company man. And that's what Gunther did. He decided to become a company man, do what he was told, and allow Jey Uso to get a good amount of offense on him that normally he would never have. He would never have that type of offense on top of Gunther, ever. And what made it all the more worse is that he couldn't take a pin. No. Jey Uso had to choke Gunther out. Gunther basically allowed Jey Uso to make him tap out so he could become the new champion. Feel good story. I know the youngins, I know the young dudes probably love that. That equals more merchandise. That's more money, to WWE's pockets, more money towards Jey Uso's pocket, right? Because it's a brand mania. Buy our merchandise, buy our product. You see the amount of advertisements that were in that entire ring, Call of the Wild, SNK, some company drink, whatever. Vince McMahon would never allow all this brand advertising crap to be in his sacred ring. And I think that's what's missing from the aura of WrestleMania, because McMahon knows how to tell a story. Vince McMahon knows how to grab the person's attention. The whole thing between him and Austin and The Rock, that was his doing. I didn't get it here. I just got marketing and commercials and celebrities and all this other crap. And then on occasion, there's some few wrestling holds here and there. And that's what I hate. And this is why I love AEW, because I rather watch the wrestlers wrestle their asses off in the ring, and every crazy move that they make, every bump that they take, my jaw is dropping. Like, I cannot believe that this did that. That's what I want to see. Last night, for most of those matches, you have 60,000 people who paid thousands upon thousands of dollars, and instead of watching the match, they're on their selfies, they're on their phones, taking pictures, posting it on social media, pretending that they're big ballers because they're in freaking WrestleMania and it's just freaking awesome, and they're not even paying attention to the match because the match itself is boring. When you are a WWE fan, you don't care about the in-ring competition. You only care about the entrances and the finish. That's it. WrestleMania is always about the entrances and the finish. Everything else in between is filler. Filler. And I hate that. I hate that type of crap. You'll never catch me in another WrestleMania like that. Nah, never. I want to be entertained from top to bottom. I don't want to spend money just so I can just tell people I was there. Screw that. I did my bucket list already. Now I want some real substance. But anyway, that was Jey Uso and Gunther. If you wanted a play-by-play, there's a lot of podcasters that can give you the play-by-play. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about each and every match, okay? And besides, all of you got the cock. Well, I mean Peacock, right? So you can watch it again, and tell me if I'm wrong. Whatever. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, another one. You know, it's like, first off, shout out to Naomi with the greatest like Owen Hart's Nation of Domination impression ever with the caution tape all around it. They should really put the caution tape on Jade Cargill's, that does, because they were mostly exposed for most of the entire night. I mean, we definitely saw the nipple tape in her gear. All right. There were a lot of wardrobe malfunctions into it. And here's another thing I don't like about this match. This is supposed to be a blood feud, right? Naomi basically took you out, Jade, for over a month and a half, crashing through a freaking to the car. And you mean to tell me there's no fist involved? There's no ramming into the steps. There's no type of physicality involved, no type of hatred. No, it was just a simple match, showing Jade Cargill's strength. And for the most part, listen, she got the win. It was great, but it was never something to write home about. It was boring. Okay? It was boring. And I don't care how you guys on social media will call it. It was a boring match. It was there. It was okay. But you want to compare that to Toni Storm and Mariah May? No, you cannot do that. You want to compare that to Athena and Mercedes Moné? No, you can't do that because it's crap. It is, but it's WrestleMania, so automatically it's supposed to be the greatest, women's match ever because it's in WrestleMania. Screw that. It's trash. All right? And you can hear 60,000 people in that stadium, and you can hear a pin drop on it. That was supposed to be loud. That was supposed to be ruckus, chaotic. I didn't see any of that. Any of that in that entire stadium. So stupid. Oh, you know what? I think I passed the match too. Yeah. New Day versus War Raiders. Does anyone care? Does anyone care about, the New Day and War Raiders? New Day won the tag team championships. Bravo. I'm happy for you. No one cares. You know what would have been a lot better? A TLC match. There was no TLC match. We don't even have a TLC match in WrestleMania. You don't even have a no disqualification match. None of that. Nothing. God, you guys suck. I hate Triple H's booking. It's just terrible. However, the crowd became alive for Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, because Jacob Fatu is that dude who is going to fight you. He's going to put a wrestling match on. He's going to do Samoan drops. He's going to do multiple hip attacks. He is going to be a crazy animal, and LA Knight, try as he might, could not do justice out of the Samoan werewolf. He did do a crazy BFT with LA Knight. I thought that was extremely dope, And you know what? Shout out to Jacob Fatu, his first ever singles championship in the grandest stage of them all. He's the new United States champion. The right call. The right call. This guy is going places. This guy's a beast. He has a great future ahead of him. So the crowd got alive for that one. That was the first time I actually heard people chanting, for Jacob Fatu, chanting for LA Knight, to hear the noises. That was the first time I actually felt like, okay, this is a WrestleMania match, right? And then it went back down again. Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. It sounds like a coffee drink. It sounds like something you order out of freaking Starbucks. And then the ending of the match features El Grande Americano with putting something of a steel inside of his mask and headbutting him with it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rey Fenix has done crazier stuff in AEW, and you mean to tell me, and this is the most funny thing. The WWE have acquired AAA, the legendary Lucha Libre promotion, right? That's Conan's promotion, and this is how You want to show your appreciation for acquiring Triple A to lose to a fake luchador. Ray Phoenix was having wars, battles against some of the very best in AEW, and this is how you felt it should be properly utilized. Now, don't get me wrong, he was a last-minute replacement for Rey Mysterio because his ass got injured, and he should have retired a long time ago. I don't know why he's still wrestling. You got your Hall of Fame already, Ray. Go off into the sunset. Just leave. But for Ray Phoenix to do this, it's just absolutely stupid, you know? I don't want to hear anyone from the WWE side, any fan, any fedhead, trying to say, oh, Tony fumbled on Ray Phoenix, so he's going to be better utilized in the WWE. If this is your way of utilizing Ray Phoenix, man, you know what? God help you. God help you both. I hope the money was good, Ray. I hope you love the fame and the fortune that goes along with it, because you're going to be put through a lot of bullshit throughout your entire career here. All right? Just wait. Just absolutely wait to see. Tiffany time! Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair in the botchiest potato mashed match that you ever seen. I like how Tiffany Stratton came out in the Barbie dollhouse and, you know, came out in the Barbie package. Yes, that's all I could say about that. Ric Flair's daughter has no ass. Her entire backside is like an ironing board right now. I don't know what the hell happened to her. She used to look so good years ago. Too much plastic surgery. No wonder why Andrade divorced her ass. It's like, jeez. You know? I don't know. It's everything that you can actually think of. I will give credit where credit is due. Tiffany Stratton fought her ass off, you know, making her look good in this fight, you know, but there were some botched moves, especially the one over there in the turnbuckle. There was some handspring elbows by Stratton. There were some cartwheels. I like the cartwheels on that. She was pretty good on that. She did beat Charlotte Flair, so I'm actually happy about that. She did the prettiest moonsault ever, and, you know, that was it. 1, 2, 3. And, you know what? That was cool. You know? I mean, it started shaky, but, you know what? It ended strong, and Stratton and Flair really had a few miscommunications, you know? And I think it was that neck breaker spot, you know? And, of course, the unintentional, you know, struggle power bomb mid-match. It should have been way better than it turned out. It should have been a lot better. But of course, you know, it was fine. It was fine. Can't really do much about it. Can't really do much of justice. But like I said, what can you do about it, right? And then came the main event. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. They basically saved WrestleMania. They saved WrestleMania. They really did. Because it was becoming the worst night one in history. Honestly, if it was just one night and it was just that card alone, it would have been worse than WrestleMania 27, and that is the truth. It would have been 10 times worse than WrestleMania 27. And then during the match, it's like Seth Rollins has been begging Roman Reigns that, yo, let's just team up together, Shield style. You know, CM Punk does not belong here. You and me, team up, let's do this. Roman Reigns wasn't having it. And then listen, he hated both of them. He hated both him and CM Punk. And then, you know, finally got into the spot in which Seth Rollins wanted Roman Reigns to do the Shield Bomb like they used to back in the day with him and Seth and Mox. You know, there was a lot of storylines being involved, you know, involving CM Punk and the Shield with Paul Heyman's involvement. And Roman Reigns drove CM Punk through the table, which I liked. You know, and why does CM Punk have to be the only person to get a musician to walk him down the ring with? Like he's that special. I swear. It goes to show you, kids, if you bitch and cry and moan and talk shit about the other people in the other company long enough, you too can get a main event spot with your own band, you know, walking you through the ring. You could do that. Just be a bitch. Just be a CM bitch. That's what you need to do. Just be that. Right? And you can get whatever you wanted, you know? That's all there is. He even got a nice package too, you know? It's like the fire still burns and all that stuff. I was like, who does this guy think he is? Seriously. And then the ending of that, Paul Heyman decides to grab a chair, gave it to CM Punk, made sure that Roman Reigns saw that. Roman Reigns felt betrayed. And as CM Punk was about to hit Roman Reigns with the steel chair, out comes Paul Heyman, low blow. Right in the dingleberries. CM Punk goes down. And then he takes the chair and walks over to Roman Reigns and kneels down and just gave the chair and said, "Here, my tribal chief. I've always been there for you, my tribal chief. Take this chair and beat the living hell out of this piece of shit, CM Punk," which he did over and over and over again. Too much of my satisfaction. I just wish he hit him harder. And then Paul Heyman points to him and said, "Oh no, now go after Seth, all right? Do to him to how he did to you years ago when he broke up the Shield. Hit him in the back." And of course, the tribal chief says, "Say less." And while he's ready to wind that up, boom, low blow by Paul Heyman. And then the fix was in. Oh my God, Seth Rollins. He was in cahoots with Paul Heyman the whole entire time. So then he hit him. He hit Roman Reigns in the back with the chair, followed by a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. He wins the match. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman are now an item, and they live happily ever after, much to the dismay of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Which, by the way, if any of you saw my little short 20 minutes before WrestleMania started, I predicted this was going to happen. I told you guys that Seth Rollins was going to turn bad and that Paul Heyman was going to be on the side of Seth Rollins. And you know what? I am never wrong with my predictions. Never wrong. They saved WrestleMania, you know, from becoming a complete snooze fest. Still, I would have never invested $5,000 if this is the type of quality I'm going to get. Word of advice to any future WrestleMania goer: buy tickets for night 2. Do not waste your time with night 1. It will never be as good as night 2. Ever. It will never be good as night 2. With that being said, I want to take a look at the match card for night 2. WrestleMania 41 night 2 match card. You gotta excuse me. You gotta excuse me right there. I'm just trying to make this thing happen here. Night 2. Let's see if there's some matches right here. I want to see exactly. Okay. So match 2 is going to be 10 times better. Why? Because you got the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Finn Balor. That's going to be an AEW type of match. I expect Braun Breaker to break someone in half with his spear. It's going to be a hard-hitting affair. That, I hope to God, is the opening match. That will be the opening match of the night. It better be. It has to be. That's how you got to make it happen. Dominic Mysterio is going to be the new IC champion. That's my bold prediction on it. Dominic Mysterio is going to be the new Intercontinental Champion. You will hear it here first. All right. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Why AJ Styles? I guess you're that old now that you can't compete against the very best in the business. So now you're going to give the rub to Logan Paul. The Maverick is going to beat AJ Styles. He's not going to lose. You know, much to the dismay of the crowd, Logan Paul is the it factor. He's gonna be with the WWE for a very long time. AJ Styles, he's on his way out. He has nothing else to show for it. He might as well just give back and just give Logan Paul the rub. I don't want that to happen. I'd rather this match never happened. But it is what it is. Logan Paul is going to win in that match. You know, it'll be a good match too, because those two men, they know how to bring it into the ring. And I expect Logan Paul to do some high flying moves as well too, because he's like that. You know, he's gonna live it up. He saw night one, and I know deep down inside he said, I am gonna make that 10 times better. You know? The women's tag team championship, Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez versus, well, there's no Bayley. Bayley, sweetie, come to AEW. Be with Mercedes Moné. Leave these women behind. You've done way too much for the business right now. You're not supposed to be a coach anymore. You're supposed to go and win titles with your best friend, Sasha Banks. Come to AEW. We will make you 10 times better than whatever Triple H is putting you, because he basically just replaced her for a returning Becky Lynch. That's what's happening. Becky Lynch is going to be the one who's going to be teaming up with Lyra Valkyria, and they're going to be the tag team champions. My God. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's going to happen. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I see that as second on the card. There is no stake in that entire game. It's going to be boring as hell. I mean, it'll probably be physical, but there's nothing to sink my teeth into. It's just a match suitable for a bathroom break. Nothing more, nothing less. There is nothing that is going to... Where's the story on it? Where's the story in that? Seriously. There's no story. It's crap. All right? It's crap. They'll probably prove me wrong, but on paper, that's not a match I'm looking forward to. So next, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is going to win the championship by assistance from Naomi, and Bianca Belair is going to turn heel. So Bianca Belair and Naomi are going to be a heel faction together, a heel team. That's how I see it happen. And the undisputed WWE Championship, which truly is going to be the best of the night, because let's face it, it is the company's main event. As I said this many, many times on this podcast, when it comes to night 2 of WrestleMania, it is the company's pay-per-view. What you saw in night 1 was the investors' pay-per-view. You know, they're just there to sell you a product. They're just there to try to sell you a complete product. That's it, nothing more. Night 2 of WrestleMania, that is the company's title. That means that what happens in night 2, that's going to move forward into storylines focusing on what happens in night 2 forever, right? John Cena is going to be a 17-time WWE Undisputed Champion, and he's going to do it with help from The Rock from Seth Rollins, from Paul Heyman, and maybe Jey Uso. I don't know. Maybe Jey Uso. I don't know. Maybe Jey Uso will turn back. Or maybe not. I don't know. But you're going to see a brand new faction close the show. And that's how it's going to end WrestleMania. And I bet you most of my predictions are going to be completely spot on when we get to that point. Anyway, that's about it for me. It's 420. So, blaze up, folks. It's Easter Sunday. So enjoy your candied Easter eggs and your scavenger hunts. And, be sure to go to church and pay your respects for the man who died on the cross for our sins, Jesus Christ. I know a lot of you atheists probably hate hearing that from me. Too bad. All right. Religion is king here. All right. So shout out to all of you. And listen, man, let's see what happens tonight. WrestleMania night 2. You're going to get a review from me tomorrow. Until then, this is Andrew signing off. See ya.